Howdy. Guess we'll be seeing you in a few hours anyway, too. Grinder, how you doing? Cindy. Very late. Midnight? What time is it? Midnight. Your guys' time. My apologies. But I just wanted to make a quick video, hopefully very quick, just to point out something rather interesting that I noted. How's everybody doing? The 7-6. Okay. How are you guys doing? Yeah, you can go away, whatever that is. Okay, so we got the tweet. The tweet. Let's just have a quick boo at their website. What the hell did they say too? Very excited, to drop this. Whatever. Get out of here. Glenn B, how's it going? So now I'm thinking if it's an interim report, then this would have been written in the last little bit, no? Like quite recently, no? Okay. May 2022 as that appearance. Okay. April 28th. Okay. 2022. We're pleased to present the interim report. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Sounds good. Oh, yeah, it's got the special federal orders in council. That is very questionable, too. Anyway, moving along. Okay. May 2022. Okay. Looking kind of like something or other. Okay. You got your ISBN numbers, officially publicated. Copyright 2022. I'd like to know, what was the first publication date? Moving along. I'll go back to the contents in a moment. But it was when I was reading this from the commissioners. Hello, Patriots ad. We are honored to have been asked to serve as commissioners, blah, 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 and to produce a final report. Da, 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 da. It was this line that stands out to me. Anybody notice a problem with that? There's an implication there. This was written ahead of time. Future tense languaging. By the time this report is released, we will be nearing completion of our phase 1 journey, establishing factual foundation of what actually happened April 18 and 19, 2020. Oh, so you knew ahead of time when you would be done things. NASCAR? By the time that this report is released. Yeah. Anybody having a problem with that sentence? Not good. Not good. If we go back to the table of contents, let's just have a look. I haven't read it, and I will read it. I will read it on air. Not now, because, well, we've all got to be ready tomorrow, right? Contents. Building the core evidentiary foundation. I'm skipping ahead. From the commissioners. Introduction. Background and context of the commission. Grief and resilience. Oh, the skirts are coming out. Nature and role of public inquiries. The road to this public inquiry. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Designing the inquiry. Mandate. Establishing the inquiry. Our vision and values. Our restorative approach. Vision and values. Putting principles into practice. The importance of language. Oh, I like that one. Oops. Oh, balls. The importance of language. I like that. Language is very important. You know, like future tense language, which means you wrote it ahead of time. Differentially affected groups. Our work, 3 phases. The phases, a layered approach. Phase 1, building the core evidentiary foundation. Participation and engagement. Communications and community engagement. Oh, yes, the siloing. Multiple facilities, multiple tables. Oh, come off in the corner. We'll answer the question over here. Mental health supports. Participants. Role of participants. What the heck? You just sit there. Application process. Application decisions. This is NLP. For anybody who's familiar with NLP. The factual foundation. Roles of commission teams. Investigation and information gathering. Document production and management and disclosure. Oh, is that the right, scanning in. Investigations, witness interviews, preparation, and foundational documents. Notice how much they're giving to each of these. Like witness interview. Oh, they got a whole page. Input from participants and working group meetings. Is that the ones that you've been doing off in the background for how long? Public proceedings. Rules of practice and procedure. Public proceedings, phase 1. Phase 2, broadening the lens and evidentiary foundation. A wider lens. Not that we're talking about glasses here or anything. Foundational documents, phase 2. Oh, that got a grand sum of 2 pages. Research advisory board. Environmental scan. You know, like scanning those PDFs so they can't be searched. Commissioned reports. Issues. Okay, well, that sounds like maybe we get some meat and potatoes here. Policing. Police paraphernalia, 70. Critical incident response, 71. Police contact, 73. Community, 75. Rural community, 75. Firearms, 76. Post-event support 77, violence 78. Got 7 pages of guff, maybe 2 pages of something, potentially public proceedings phase 2. Conclusion. You know, like Burl's happy that you have the conclusion. You'll be happy for the conclusion. A call for continued engagement. Notes. Oh, the appendices. Let's see, what are they? Appendix 1. Orders in council. Well, you just repeated yourself. Nova Scotia. This is the questionable orders in council. Okay. It's particularly the Canadian one is interesting. All right, moving along. Rules of participation and funding, rules of practice and procedure, participation decision and addenda. Appendices 4A, participation decisions, addendums, participation decision addendum 2, participation addendum 3, participation decision addendum 4, list of participants and participants council. Appendices 6, decision with respect to proposed witnesses by participants relating to the matters of the Portapique foundational documents, page 150. Well, when I read that, I read all that stuff on the website because it's already all there. So what they did is repackage the website into a report. And to the best of my knowledge, though I have not read it yet, because I just needed to stop at the one sentence, which kind of demonstrated that they wrote it in advance. We will be finished. How would you know that in advance? Well, most of that all, I see a little bit there, but very little. Very little. Most of it's just a repackaging. How does an inquiry work? This is not an inquiry. Never was an inquiry. Never was an inquiry. So why do you need to repackage your website and tell people the same old guff again? You'd think you'd have a lot in here about what took place, what happened. But you don't. Anyway, probably should go back to that one sentence. They're so proud. What is it? Very proud of their work. Pleased, honored. Honored is their word. Shame. Shame's going to make a comeback. By the time this report is released, we will be nearing completion of our journey, establishing the factual foundation of what happened. Well, you have devoted 150 pages plus to your website. Good job. Anybody fooled yet? Countryside. Written a while back. Oh, I would say at the beginning. Way at the beginning. You know, Ottawa War Room. beginning. You know, those months and months that they sat around didn't seem to do much of anything. Yeah. Yes. I can't read it. Okay, that's what I'm doing then. Watching Seamus. What is this? Thank you, Patriot. Appreciate that. I don't trust dates. I don't trust dates, times, clocks in Nova Scotia anymore. No. Lots of copy paste. Copy pasta. Work of lazy people and those who like to hide. Written a while back. Wish I had a bigger screen. Can't read it? Is that what you can't read? You can't read that? Okay. Does that help? By the time this report is released, we will be nearing. I thought you just wrote this. Welcome to your crash course, officers. Anyone want to bet the final report is already written too? Oh, kind of like writing things in advance. And you know the conclusion already. I think I've heard that somewhere. I heard that somewhere. Don't know where it was. Anyway, can only be one of. I already know. How would you know? We all know that. Yes, well, as long as we just keep pointing it out to people, keep sharing, right? That's how it's done. More eyes, more people, more attention, more negative publicity, possibly, that they get pushed into, between the diaper articles and such. What life? Howdy. It's a bulldog with a hat. Predetermined conclusion. How would you know? How would you know ahead of time? It's kind of like, I think I've heard those sentences somewhere. Going through the motions. Well, they're speaking in the past, but about future. Karnak, I don't know. Miraculous coincidence. And then an absolute miracle. Just all Canada fooled, nothing to see right here. They include a video of the perp being killed at Enfield, but documents state that his death is on April 20th. You can screenshot it. Probably fell asleep at the keyboard. Well, I don't want to be derogatory. I could pop this one out here because I thought this was rather interesting. Let's see here. It's a work in progress I'm working on. Remember the other night I mentioned about the cuffs? Or the other day I mentioned about the Peerless cuffs, which then got bagged and tagged as Smith & Wesson cuffs. Well, this is probably going to open up more whoop ass down the line. This is just a little taste, though. So, Monday, May 17th, 2021. Joel, I'm going to not try and butcher this name, so I just won't pronounce it. My apologies, sir. Communicated with RCMP. What is this nonsense? I had that thing beeping before. I don't even know what this is. Something to do with Microsoft. Looked like a window thing there. Superintendent John Robin communicated with Superintendent John Robin, before he got the boot. Yeah. I won't touch some of that right now. We'll leave that for a later day. Receipts. Love them. Tuesday, May 18th. Chief Superintendent John Robin sent an email to inquire whether the handcuffs placed on Lisa Banfield by the perpetrator had been recovered. First of all, that's calling for conclusion. You have no idea. Zero idea. They may have been used coming out of a car, recovered the next night at 6 p.m. in a pile of ash, which people have been wandering around in. And I'm sure crime scene investigators did a pretty good job, but they just happened to find cuffs to take home and wire brush them with WD-40 to phone the RCMP. Right. That makes sense. You can't say a statement like this. You don't know. Handcuffs. John Robin sent an email to Joel, again, apologies, with the following response from Corporal Rose Berthiaume. I always mispronounce that. Handcuffs were, quote, handcuffs located by FIS at the Cloverleaf Circle scene. False. They were not located at the Cloverleaf Circle scene. They were located in Mr. Fisher's possession. He found them, supposedly, at the scene. Chain of custody, gone. There is none. You can't make an assertion that they're saying here. Near the scene, because FIS didn't locate them, fake police car. Oh, yes, here we go with that again. These handcuffs did not belong to Constable Stevenson and were badly burned in the fire. These handcuffs were sent to the lab for DNA testing with negative results. Why, you may ask? Right, of course, those of you who are familiar with the story, WD-40 and wire brushes do not work well with evidence. No, no, no. Exhibit PE 446. No handcuffs were recovered in Portapique. Lisa Banfield indicated in her statement that she was able to pull the handcuffs off her wrist in the back of the fake police car. Based on where these handcuffs were located, that would be in Mr. Fisher's residence. We believe that the handcuffs seized at the Cloverleaf Circle may have come from the fake police car driven by Wortman. And more conclusion. Investigators cannot determine if these handcuffs were the handcuffs Lisa Banfield had on that night, although the circumstances suggest they may be. You don't even know what type of cuffs they are. Peerless? Smith & Wessons? Who knows? Who cares? Right? Move along. Now, Let's have a look at Joel. New justices of the peace appointed to the Ontario Court of Justice. June 28, 2021. Okay. Let's just go down here. Here we be. Justice Joel of the Peace. Joel, apologies again, worked with the Toronto Police Services for over 30 years. His roles included detective sergeant, sergeant constable, homicide and professional standards units, and drug and fugitive squads. His constituency council member of the Center for Addiction and Mental Health. Most recently, Justice of the Peace. Sorry, what is this word here? Was the executive team lead of the investigations pillar of the Mass Casualty Commission, who was created to examine the 2020 mass casualty in Nova Scotia. I thought it was an ongoing process. I guess he was done in when? June? June. This is based on what? New justices of the peace appointed to Newmarket. York Region Law Association. Justice of the Peace. Joel. Oh, I see. So in June 2021, he got appointed. Team lead, MCC, completed his investigation. By that point, 29th of June, 2021, and then is appointed a Justice of the Peace. Look at name above, last name King. Wasn't King an MCC investigator too? Is that so? I'm not sure. NSEFT. I don't know. That's a good question. Convenient timing, isn't it? A miraculous coincidence. You get appointed. I don't know. Can't figure out the cuffs, though. Can't figure out a lot. Dwayne King? I don't know about this. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about King. What I do know about is this individual, Joel. Joel, who was the executive team lead. Joel, who had already completed his investigation by the 29th of June, 2021 for the Mass Casualty Commission. Joel, who was then appointed as a Justice of the Peace. Ouch. Anyway, I will see you bright and early tomorrow. Not looking good. Books. Laptops. Artwork. Appointments. This is our system. Oh, I would say there are a few questions for Mr. Fisher. But funnily enough, I even have questions for, I don't know, how you can misidentify peerless cuffs. Some dude out in Alberta, can read, even if you want to put it upside down or sideways or whatever in the hell it is that you want to do today. I can read. Peerless. It's not Smith & Wesson cuffs. How did they get bagged as that? Have a good day. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. God bless you. God bless the 23.